Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're going to talk about the life cycle of a modern story. It used to be a pretty straight line, right? From a creator's brain onto our screens. Simple. But now, well, now there's this huge new player in the game, and it's changing everything. And that player, it's us, the audience. And to really get what's going on, we have to start with a warning from a legend, Martin Scorsese. He basically put his finger on this massive conflict happening right now in media. A battle that defines what we watch and how we watch it. So the way Scorsese sees it, it's a fight between two big ideas. On one side, you've got art, something with a unique form, a clear vision, something that's been carefully curated. But on the other side, you've got content. And he sees that as just a commodity, something that's devalued and just sort of fed to us by algorithms, not by actual human taste. All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at the creator's vision, the art side. Then we'll get into that book industrial content machine. From there, we'll see how the audience is stepping up and fighting back. And finally, we'll ask the big question, who's really in charge of the story these days? So yeah, Scorsese's main point is this. In the world of streaming, everything just gets mushed together. Think about it. A classic epic by David Lean, the latest superhero movie, a video of a cat falling off a table, it's all just called content. And when that happens, he argues, it loses its unique identity, its artistic value. Okay, so on one side of this big divide, you have what we call the auteur. This is the artist, right? The creator with that one singular vision for their work. It's often finite, meaning it has an ending. These are the people championing what Scorsese would definitely call art. And a perfect example of this today, Quentin Tarantino. I mean, in an industry that absolutely loves endless sequels, this guy has famously said he's done after just 10 films. That's it, 10. It's a deliberate choice, a self-imposed ending. See, for him, his collection of films isn't some franchise to be milked forever. It's one complete, curated story. He talks about it like each film is a boxcar on a train, all connected, building towards a final conclusion. And in his mind, that's what makes it art. That's the difference. But let's be real, Tarantino's way of thinking is becoming super rare. He's an outlier in an industry that's now built for nonstop quantity. And this relentless pace has created a feeling that, honestly, a lot of us can probably relate to. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Superhero fatigue. It's that feeling of just being exhausted. The idea that you have to watch like 5 different TV shows and know a decade of lore just to understand one new movie, it stops being fun and starts feeling like homework, right? And the numbers are just staggering. Just look at this. Since 2020 alone, the MCU has dropped 12 new shows on Disney+. 12. That pace is, well, it's a lot. And for many viewers, it's just created this feeling of being totally overloaded instead of actually being entertained. And hey, this isn't just us, the audience, complaining. Even the people on the inside, like director James Gunn, are saying it. He admits that if you don't have a strong story, all the crazy special effects and spectacle on the world just get boring. It becomes fatiguing. So this content model gives us movies like the recent war drama Border 2. Now, people say it's entertaining, for sure. But it also relies really heavily on nostalgia, on story beats that feel familiar, even using a classic song from the first movie. It's an effective product, It delivers exactly what it promises. But that's the thing, it feels more like a product and less like a piece of art. Okay, so you've got creators over here trying to protect their unique visions, and you've got the industry over there just churning out predictable content. So where does that leave us, the audience? Well, turns out we're not just sitting back and taking it anymore. We're actually starting to strike back. In fact, viewers are taking on these new and honestly incredibly powerful roles in the whole storytelling ecosystem. The whole dynamic is shifting under our feet. I mean, just look at this Reddit thread for House of the Dragon. Before season 2 even came out, fans had mapped out the entire plot. And I mean, with shocking detail. They were predicting major deaths, key battles, the whole shebang. They've basically gone from being viewers to being predictive analysts. And this whole thing goes way deeper than just predicting what happens next. The audience is also acting like deep psychological decoders. They're digging into the art they love and pulling out meanings that maybe even the creators didn't see. Okay, case in point, this absolutely brilliant take on Walter White from Breaking Bad. It comes from a Reddit discussion, and this one line just completely reframes his entire motivation. It's not about a quest for power anymore, it's about an escape from nothingness. The argument here is that his whole Heisenberg persona, it wasn't just some big ego trip. No, it was a desperate attempt to run away from being invisible, from being forgotten. The analysis even connects it to his only memory of his own father, who he remembered as just this powerless, withered figure, basically a nothing. Walter was terrified of being remembered, or not remembered, in that same empty way. And what does this tell us? It proves there's this profound hunger out there for real substance. People don't just want to be spoon-fed endless content. They want art. They want stuff that makes you think, stuff you have to deconstruct and argue about. They're actively looking for complexity in a world that often just wants to give them simplicity. Which brings us right back to the big question we started with. We've got this new media landscape, and there are three major forces all pulling the strings, all shaping the stories we see. So you've got the creator, right, with their unique, curated, and often finite vision. Then there's the industry, built like a machine for systematic, formula-based content. And now there's the audience, predicting, analyzing, deconstructing, becoming this powerful new force that we're all still trying to figure out. So in this brand new world, it's not as simple as asking who made this. The whole game has changed. The real question we're left with is, in this constant tug of war between the creator, the industry, and the audience, who truly controls the narrative now?